Now, Paul McGann only played the Doctor in a made-for-TV movie which aired on Fox. This movie aired while I was still in high school, and I would have gladly watched it, but I missed it. Why? Because Fox did a really shitty job advertising it. Luckily, I did get to see it about a year later when a friend let me borrow a bootleg copy on VHS. For the most part, I really enjoyed the movie. It has my favorite version of the TARDIS interior, as well as my favorite version of the theme. Paul McGann was a great choice for the Doctor. To me, he's the Hugh Grant Doctor. He is always charmingly befuddled.
Oh dear, now look at that. I've gone and used up 3 whole bodies in just under a minute, all because I forgot to unplug first. That really was terribly silly of me.
It's sad that this film didn't give way for a new Doctor Who series, as I would have loved to see more of Paul McGann playing the Doctor. There is a huge debate as to whether or not this film should be counted in continuity. Personally, I think it should, as you get to see Sylvester McCoy regenerate into Paul McGann. I will say this about the sequence. Sylvester McCoy's death and regeneration is one of the most cruel and heartbreaking in the entirety of the franchise. Don't misunderstand me, it's really well done. I'm just glad I didn't see it as a kid because it would have scarred me for life. So why is the continuity debate so heated? Well, you see, the movie makes the infamous claim that the Doctor is half human.
I'm half human. On my mother's side.
How do I feel about this? Well, for me, that's about 10 levels of I don't give a shit. Whether you want to accept this as canon or not, it in no way hinders my enjoyment of this movie or the rest of the series. As long as the character is consistent and he is played by a good actor, I don't care. If you want to believe that the Doctor was still suffering from post-regeneration amnesia,
maybe you have selective amnesia brought on by shock.
Maybe.
Or that the Eye of Harmony lied to the Master to protect the Doctor, all the power to you. I just don't care to waste that kind of brain space. There is one thing about this movie that I do find to be completely atrocious. Well, remember back when I was praising all the actors who played the Master and I left out Eric Roberts? Well, that wasn't a mistake, because in this movie, he is fucking terrible.
I always dress for the occasion.
Holy shit, did no one direct him? Oh my god, I used to love Eric Roberts. When I was a kid, I grew up with the best of the best movies. But this is just balls. In spite of its success in Britain, the movie failed to garner interest for a new series until 2005, when we found out that the Doctor's absence was due to his involvement in the Time War. The Ninth Doctor, Christopher Eccleston. Now, before I start rambling on and on about the new series, I want to extend a special thanks to Russell T. Davies and Julie Gardner. They are the paddles on the defibrillator that brought the Doctor back to life, and without them, the dark period could have extended through another 16 years. With that said, no, I did not watch the new series when it first aired, but more on that later. First, let's talk about the Ninth Doctor. He was a war veteran who survived the most ambiguous mysterious battle in history, the Time War. The after effects of being the sole survivor seems to be this Doctor's defining characteristic. That and his love for bananas.
Bananas are good.
His catchphrase?
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Like I said, this was the Doctor who took me the longest to like. Nothing against Christopher Eccleston, it's just that even though I had seen other actors play the Doctor, I was just stuck on Tom Baker and his era. And the new show, for the lack of a better term, seemed alien to me. But over the years I have developed a deeper appreciation for this era, and its significant contributions to the mythology. If I had to pick a favorite episode from the Ninth Doctor's era, I would have to go with Dalek. It's one of the very few times we see the Doctor give in to his emotions, and Eccleston pulled it off magnificently.
We are the same.
We're not the same, I'm not...
No, wait. Maybe we are. You're right, yeah, okay. You've got a point. Because I know what to do. I know what should happen. I know what you deserve. Exterminate.
Now, while we're on the subject of the 9th, I have to address Christopher Eccleston's lack of interest to return to Doctor Who. Now, for those of you who don't know, Christopher Eccleston has said on several interviews that he would never return to Doctor Who, not even for the 50th anniversary special. Now, I have the utmost respect for Christopher Eccleston. He is a great actor, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him play Malekith the Accursed in Thor: The Dark World. But I highly disagree with him here. If this was some crappy signature sitcom role that he was trying to disassociate himself with, I'd understand. But he was already a big actor before Doctor Who, and he's still a big actor now. I think he should make the time to at least be in the 50th anniversary special for 3 reasons. Reason 1. This could potentially be the first multi-Doctor special for the new era of Doctor Who. The one major bummer of the past multi-Doctor specials is that they can never get all the Doctors together. The closest they have ever gotten was the 10th anniversary special, The 3 Doctors, where William Hartnell appeared via pre-recorded video footage due to major health problems. So, is Christopher Eccleston really going to let himself be outstaged by a sick old man? Cause that would be sad. Incidentally, 10 points on the badassitude meter to William Hartnell for doing that. Second reason. It's the 50th anniversary. No other sci-fi series has ever reached this milestone. It would be sad if he wasn't a part of this momentous occasion. And my third reason. I know Christopher Eccleston is a big actor. I get that. I respect that. But if equally huge actors like Timothy Dalton and Michael Gambon can make the time to appear in Doctor Who specials, so can he. In conclusion, if I can put my stubbornness aside and accept him as the Doctor, he can put his stubbornness aside and participate in this very important landmark. It's his duty to his fans and his country. Nuff said. Now, let's move on to the man that regenerated me as a fan.
The 10th Doctor, David Tennant.
He is the fantastically fearless foxy philosopher. And did I mention that the ladies love the 10th?
David, I think you're gorgeous.
God bless you, Anne.
It's not easy being the Doctor. He is as whimsical and wacky as Tom Baker and as intense and epic as Sylvester McCoy, but with what I like to call the Tennant twist, as David Tennant can go from wacky to epic in 3/8 of a second.
Doesn't that just sum up Christmas? You go through all those presents, and right at the end, tucked away at the bottom, there's always one stupid old Satsuma. Who wants Satsuma? No second chances.
Trademark?
Snap.
Catchphrase?
The saying, Captain. A phrase of great power and wisdom, and consolation to the soul in times of need.
What's that then?
Allons-y! Allons-y! Allons-y!
Allons-y.
I'm sorry?
It's French, but let's go.
To explain my admiration of the 10th, I would have to go back to the beginning. You see, it was the year that they were about to premiere the Christmas special, The Runaway Bride, on Sci-Fi Channel. Not only did the Sci-Fi Channel do a great job at advertising the special, but to commemorate the event, they decided to air the Christmas special from the previous year, The Christmas Invasion, earlier in the day before premiering The Runaway Bride. Christmas Invasion just so happens to be David Tennant's first episode as the Doctor. At this point, I had heard a lot of great things about Mr. Tennant, so I figured, what the hell, I'll check it out. As far as introducing the new Doctor, this episode is brilliant. Basically, all the while the Doctor is recuperating from his regeneration, there is a mass alien invasion, so the entire episode builds up to the moment when the Doctor will wake up and save the day. The situation gets worse and worse, to the degree that you are just begging for the Doctor to wake up already, and when he does, it's glorious. Christmas Invasion is my favorite episode of the Tennant era. Is it the best episode? No. But it just holds a special significance to me. It was the episode that regenerated me as a fan. It is the episode that introduced me to David Tennant, who is now one of my top 5 favorite actors. And it finally helped me get over Tom Baker and accept somebody new as my favorite Doctor. That's right. David Tennant is my favorite Doctor, even though I'll never forget my first. He effortlessly saves the day without even changing out of his pajamas, and when he does, he puts on the coolest duds the Doctor has ever worn. I love the 10th Doctor's costume. A sharp pinstripe suit, tie, Converse sneakers, and that awesome coat. I suddenly understand Cruella de Vil, cause I would skin 101 Dalmatian puppies for a coat like that. Suck it, PETA!
I love that coat. Janis Joplin gave me that coat.
For the first time in my 20-odd years watching Doctor Who, not only did I look up to the Doctor, but I could relate to him. He wore product in his hair, like me.
Great hair. Some really great hair.
He was a fast-talking exposition machine, like me. He used random pop culture references, like me.
Back to the Future. It's like Back to the Future.
The film.
No, the novelisation. Yes, the film.
It's like this character was custom made to appeal to yours truly. This era saw the return of Sarah Jane Smith, and let me tell you, that dumbfounded look of admiration on David Tennant's face when he first sees Sarah Jane in the episode was plastered all over my face as well. I love Elizabeth Sladen, and I do miss her. Oh, and K9 was there too. Hooray. This episode also has one of my all-time favorite actors, Anthony Stewart Head, playing the villain, Mr. Finch. The short exchange between him and David Tennant, as simple as it may be, is one of my favorite moments in the entire show. Like two generals discussing terms before battle.
Declare war on us, Doctor.
I'm so old now. I used to have so much mercy.
The one character from the original series who I was always disappointed never made a cameo was Nicholas Courtney as the Brigadier Letridge Stewart. So I was very pleased when they introduced Gemma Redgrave as Dr. Kate Stewart, the Brigadier's daughter. I'm happy that they are continuing his legacy. Oh, and the coat, the scarf, and the hands in the pockets was a nice touch. I guess this would be a good time to discuss the companions of the new series. Let's begin with the inherited companion, Rose Tyler. I was never a big fan of Rose. Again, nothing against Billie Piper. I'm talking about the character here. She just seemed like such a flighty girl. She takes off with this strange man and completely ditches her boyfriend and her mother. She breaks the laws of time to get her dead father back, and then when she does get him back, she tries to ditch him too. She is the Doctor's buddy until he regenerates into the younger and more handsome David Tennant. And now she's in love with him? Superficial much? And just to put the sprinkles on the sundae, she ends up hooking up with a clone of the Doctor. Not the person she allegedly fell in love with, but a clone of the person she allegedly fell in love with. Even Billie Piper herself admits that this was pretty fucked up. After Rose, there was Martha, who was the complete opposite. She was so goody-goody she made you cringe. Her only discernible flaw was that she was hopelessly in love with the Doctor. Really? We're gonna do this again? Okay. But the worst thing about Martha is that right when she became a globe-trotting freedom fighter, right when she got over the Doctor, right when she became Dr. Martha Jones, agent of UNIT, right when she got really interesting, she left. Really? She just leaves now. The last time we see her, she is having a gun battle with a Centauran. That is the Martha Jones I wanted to see traveling with the Doctor, not the compliant little girl with a severe case of puppy love. And then there was Donna, played by famed comedian Catherine Tate. Donna fell under a great deal of scrutiny after she was chosen as the companion, and I do get the fan trepidation. It would be like going from Kristen Cruick to Molly Shannon. But the fact of the matter is, Donna was awesome. Donna initially rejected the Doctor, but her encounter with him made her take a good hard look at her life, and made her realize just how empty it was. She was a 40-year-old single woman still living with her mother. Her desire to join the Doctor was well-founded. She wanted to help save the world and make a difference. She wasn't a warrior or a scientist, she just had the will to help, and most of the time, that's all you need. Catherine Tate's chemistry with David Tennant was undeniable. They play so well off of each other, you believe that they've had this long-term relationship adventuring through the cosmos.
What do you think? Flapper or slapper?
Flapper, you look lovely.
She was feisty. She questioned the Doctor. While he might be a genius, he's not infallible, and Donna never let him forget that.
It's me.
What, you're in charge?
Not this time, Lord, yeah.
Donna Human, no! I don't need your permission, I'll tell her myself!
Oh, and then I mentioned that she's fucking hilarious.
You said you'd been to the toilet. Oh, I know this. If she was really posh, she'd say loo.
I love Donna. Out of the 30-odd companions the Doctor has had, Donna is the one that I would travel with. She would keep me in check, and she would make me laugh.
Factory workers, in the street, in broad daylight. It's more like Guantanamo Bay out there. Donna, by the way, Donna Noble, since you didn't ask. I'll have a salute.
Mom.
Oh, and I know that all the fangirls on the planet will scream at me if I don't mention him at least once, so here we go. Captain Jack Harkness, ladies. Captain Jack Harkness. That baby-faced bastard. Gotta love him. Anyway, while I'm on the subject of Promiscuous Jack, I know I'm gonna get a million questions about my thoughts on the Doctor Who spin-offs, The Sarah Jane Adventures and Torchwood. I think the shows are fine, but I don't feel comfortable recommending them, as I can't technically say, if you like Doctor Who, you'll like these shows, since they are so different from Doctor Who. Sarah Jane being for kids and Torchwood being for adults. So there you go. Anywho, while the Tennant era might be my favorite of the new series, it does contain the only episode which I absolutely hate out of the entire franchise. While there might be some of the episodes from the classic series that annoyed me or bored me, this is the only episode that I hate. And if you're a fan of the show, you know where this is going. Love and Monsters. This episode can suck a and die. Now, Nash already riffed on this episode rather eloquently, so I'll be brief. This is what Whovians call a Doctor Light episode, meaning an episode in which the Doctor's involvement is very minimal. Other Doctor Light episodes like Blink, Turn Left, and The Girl Who Waited are awesome. This one is a piece of shit that should burn in hell. The episode follows a group of people who have had encounters with the Doctor, and how the encounters affected their lives. Now this sounds like a great idea. The problem is that these are the most annoying, sad group of douchebags imaginable. I wouldn't want to spend 4 seconds with these dicks, let alone 44 minutes. For more on why this episode blows, I will once again refer you to Nash's review. Trust me, if you've seen the episode, it's therapeutic. As much as I miss David Tennant as the Doctor, I respect his decision to leave the show. He gave us 3 great seasons, 2 lackluster but entertaining animated specials, and 4 kick-ass feature-length specials which close his tenure as the Doctor. Plus, he has proclaimed on many occasions that he would gladly return to do the 50th anniversary, as long as the story is right. So as a fan, I can't complain. And like I said before, I only cried when 2 Doctors regenerated. The second was David Tennant.
I don't want to go.
He didn't overstay his welcome, and by leaving, he made the transition of Stephen Moffat as the new executive producer and head writer smoother than a baby Sladine's bottom. Alright, the 11th hour is upon us. It's time for the TARDIS's current resident.
The 11th Doctor, Matt Smith.
Now this is the one who's going to be the hardest to judge, since this era is still in progress, so I apologize to any of you who are seeing this a couple of years from now and it just sounds out of date. Like Catherine Tate as Donna Noble, Matt Smith also received a great deal of scrutiny when he was chosen for the part. This was a fan reaction that left me scratching my head. Before Matt Smith, the producers of Doctor Who chose 10 great actors to play this character. Why would they drop the ball now? Everyone seemed to be fixated on Matt Smith's age, as he is the youngest actor to play the Doctor. My feeling? It's the Doctor. Age has nothing to do with it. Every actor before him has played the character different, and at 27, Matt Smith had more talent in his pinky than the entire cast of Twilight has in their entire bodies. And I know that that's like comparing a sunset to a landfill, but I digress. So the first thing that I want to say about Matt Smith is this. In all my time watching Doctor Who, there have only been 3 actors who I automatically accepted as a Doctor. Tom Baker, David Tennant, and Matt Smith. No, he's no David Tennant. He will never replace him, but he doesn't have to. He does things his way, and that's great. There is never a dull moment when he's on screen. He is this magnificently mischievous child trapped in a man's body. He is unapologetically himself no matter the situation. If you have a problem with that, well, I hope you have the balls to go up against the oncoming storm. Catchphrases?
It's from the Doctor.
What does it say?
Geronimo.
Bow ties are cool. Fezzes are cool. Stetsons are cool.
Alright, let's talk companions. As I am recording this, Jenna Louise Coleman hasn't premiered as Clara, so again, I apologize if this feels out of date. So let's concentrate on the 11th's first companion, and the longest running companion of the new series, Amy Pond. Amy grew on me very slowly. Initially, her motivation was, you guessed it, she is in love with the Doctor, and she ditches her fiancé to go have adventures with him. Doctor, I think the TARDIS is experiencing a time skip, cause I've seen this shit before. The difference is, that Amy had good reason to be in love with him, as Stephen Moffat decided to embrace the whole concept of the Doctor being an imaginary friend, as the 11th accidentally visited Amy when she was a little girl, so she grew up idolizing him. Then, he reappears to her 12 years later looking exactly the same, so of course, she would be in love with him. Also, this is the same plot as Stephen Moffat's Season 2 story, The Girl in the Fireplace, but expanded. So at first, I was very annoyed by Amy's careless flightiness, and then came Rory. Thank God for Rory. Rory Williams is Amy's fiance, who just so happens to be the nicest, most loyal guy on the planet Earth. This guy will do anything for her. Anything.
Sit still. Shut up.
Rory, take Hitler and put him in that cupboard over there. Now, do it.
Right. Putting Hitler in the cupboard.
Eventually, Amy opens her eyes and realizes that the perfect man is right in front of her, and that maybe she shouldn't wait around for a guy who's just gonna take off in his time machine with the next pretty thing that just so happens by. Amy's transformation from guiltless impulsive vamp to a noble hero and devoted wife is a beautiful thing to witness, and this year it was sad to see the pawns go. Also, Karen Gillan's performance in The Girl Who Waited is astonishing. I hope to God she got an award for that. And of course, I can't talk about the 11th Doctor's era without mentioning River Song.
Hello, sweetie.
Oh, baby. Alex Kingston, you're a goddess.
One alpha meson burst through your eye stalk would kill you stone dead.
Records indicate you will show mercy. You are an associate of the Doctor's.
I'm River Song. Check your records again.
Mercy.
Say it again.
Mercy.
One more time.
Who is River Song, you might ask? Well, it would take a 40-minute video for me to fully explain that. If you want to know more about her, you have to watch the show. So all I'll say is this. She is the closest thing the Doctor has ever had to a love interest. She is a badass, time-traveling, alien-fighting archaeologist. She, on her own, gets 10 points on the badassitude meter.
So, what kind of doctor are you?
Archaeology.
Lara Croft, eat your heart out. Also, I know I'm gonna get this question a lot, so here it goes. My favorite villain is the Master.
Laser screwdriver. Who'd have Sonic?
And my favorite monster are the Weeping Angels. Them motherfuckers are scary, yo! I always hear stories of people watching Doctor Who from behind the couch because they were afraid of the monsters. That never happened to me. Are you kidding? I grew up with Freddy Krueger and Pinhead. This shit was not going to scare me. So for me to admit as an adult that the Weeping Angels creep me out is pretty big. In short, I don't know what the future may bring for the Doctor, but for the moment, the future is in really good hands, as we continue to witness the battle between intellect and romance against brute force and cynicism.
Right, Doctor?
Absolutely.
So what will happen Saturday, November 23rd, 2013 on the 50th anniversary of the longest running sci-fi series of all time? Will we get the multi-Doctor special we've been waiting for? Will we see the much anticipated return of the Master? Will we finally see Paul McGann regenerate into Christopher Eccleston? Will they finally show that damn Time War that everybody's always talking about but they never show? Or will they finally answer the first question?
The question that must never be answered. It is plain sight. The question you've been running from all your life. Doctor Who? Doctor Who? Doctor Who?
I cross the void beyond the mind, the empty space that circles time. I see where others stumble blind to seek a truth they never find. Eternal wisdom is my guide. I am the Doctor. Through cosmic waste the TARDIS flies to taste the secret source of life.